The following program comes to you from the Mustang Media Studios.
Hello, bonjour. My name is Johann Jamie Rust, and welcome to the Cactus Corner, a part of the Junior Lounge podcast programming. On today's show, we will be talking about, this year and next year for both me as a junior and what I will be doing as a senior. We have a very, very exciting show today featuring multiple segments on what my next year's plan is and what I plan to do for my capstone project, as well as what the best and worst of this last fiscal high school year will be like. I am your host, name is Johann Jamie Rust, and we will be back after these messages.
Unleash your creativity at John Muir High School. Step into the spotlight with our Arts, Entertainment, and Media Academy, where innovation meets imagination. From filmmaking to video production to studio broadcasting and live event coverage, students get hands-on experience in the fast-paced world of media. Through Mustangs Media, our sports and event journalism program, students learn to tell powerful stories with the lens of a camera and the rhythm of a great edit. But it's more than just an artistic expression. Our academy builds real-world skills in critical thinking, collaboration, and creative problem solving. Discover your voice, develop your vision, turn your passion into purpose at John Muir's AEM Academy.
And we're back. Hello, welcome back to the Cactus Corner with Johann Jamie Rust. I'm the namesake host, Johann Rust. And let's just get into this very first topic. This year has been quite an eventful year for me as a junior. Down here in Altadena, we've had the Eden Canyon fires, which has devastated a lot. Almost took my house, but we have slightly, not crazy, but we had neighbors who stayed behind and just got out a hose and hosed everything down before the wind changed direction, so we luckily weren't burned down. But definitely a very, very crazy year. I don't really have one best of the year. As best I can really think of is the local John Muir rugby team that I started. We won the championship for the second year in a row, which is very nice. Very excited for that. Definitely, if any of you listeners are at John Muir and are interested in joining, please do. Since the team is mostly seniors, we are looking for brand new people to come on down. The worst of the year, however, probably has to be Mr. Fowey. Any of you listeners have her, write in. I'd love to hear your comments, but as far as I'm aware, every single time, she doesn't give a darn about any of the school events or anything. She just wants you to do her work. And she claims it's like college, but if you ever taken a PCC classes, you know, they assign you the work that they've already told you they're going to assign. They can't assign new work, and they can't assign work on days that have been already scheduled to be off. So, Miss Arfawi, she doesn't do that. She just puts it out and expects you to do it. I mean, I know quite a few people like her, but I can't personally side with her ways of teaching. She's not a bad person. I don't really like the constant sort of discourse that's constantly caused through her assigning way too much stuff, especially at the end of the year. We're having 2 whole units that even AP classes, they don't get around to those units that are just let's do something else that you don't have to be taught 1,000 times how to do it. With that going in, finally glad to be out of all these junior classes. People said this was going to be the hardest year, but didn't really seem like it. Going into what next year is going to be my senior year, of which I had to do a capstone topic, and for your host here, he is going to be going into the idea of pollution and how animals interact with it nowadays. If you've ever seen, like, there are videos online of hermit crabs using containers as shells, which isn't necessarily bad, but it's also not good either. But that idea of the animals and wildlife living and interacting with the pollution that we've caused is definitely a very interesting take to go for. In this film program, I am more notably known as being an animator, so I like to draw pictures and animate again and again. And that's what I want to go to college for, so most likely my Cactus project is going to be a short animated film based around this idea of animals interacting with this pollution, this polluted area that they just have to live through. And the idea maybe it follows like a bug, like a roly-poly, who has to go through all these styrofoam cups and such, while you have a bird or something trying to chase after it. And just explore how a world that maybe could have been this beautiful green place is now just a trash-filled dystopia. Definitely an interesting idea to go through. Outside the senior capstone topic, though, the rest of my senior year is rather... how do I say this? Uneventful? I don't have much going on next year. My plans really are just to try and apply to schools that I want to get into, take a school, and then go to an... if I don't get into a school I want to go to, I'll just transfer in later. Like, I don't really have any real plans for senior year. I just mainly am focused on college and getting in, if anything. I mean, outside of just trying to get good grades and taking more advanced classes, there's nothing much. Outside, of course, the capstone topic that I have planned for next year and senior year. We will go ahead and get back to you after this quick.
At John Muir Mustang Media, students are trained in film, like studio, TV, video, and sports media. Students fine-tune their creative energy and hone in on their critical thinking and problem-solving skills. At Mustang Media, our students are encouraged to explore their natural talents and artistic passions, turning them into real-world skills through hands-on training.
And we're back. Welcome back to the Cactus Corner with your host, Johann Jamie Rust. That's me. And to finish out today's show, we're going to be going off with a little bit of a segment I call Jamie's Food Reviews. So if any of you go to Muir, you might know off of Lincoln, there's this little strip where there's this Tex-Mex place called Homestay. It's very good, and there's a little Italian deli. Recently, however, a chicken spot has opened up there that's very, very tasty, called Kismet Chicken, that I would very much so recommend for you, anyone who's listening, to go and try. The chicken is very well made, and everything there is freshly bought, which makes it a very, very enjoyable experience to go out and eat it. My favorite things to get there is a chicken pita and the cauliflower. Very good. Very strong curry flavor, so if you don't like that, you won't like the cauliflower. But it's a very good spot to go. Very easy. You just walk up, order, and then you can get your stuff to go. Just take it back to your house or wherever. And I would 100% definitely recommend for anybody, any of you listeners who are in the area, to go and try that. It appears that is all the time that we have. Thank you all for listening. This has been the Cactus Corner with Johann Jamie Rust, me. And we will see you next time, in which our block is being moved over to the Senior Lounge podcast.